that you will meet today, folks. So I want to give yourselves a whack, wake yourselves up. This is the hard part. The good news is it's not essential, but it's good. If you know about it, then your understanding of the nature of reading fluency can be deeper and more thoughtful, and you won't be misguided by people who tell you the wrong thing about reading fluency. Now, when people read, what happens? You can look at the physical things that happen when people read. And someone's reading a text. Okay. Now, that's the physical things that happen when we read. Now, what they can do nowadays is they put a little band around your head with a little camera. And they focus the camera on the center of one of your eyes. And then they say, look at this dot on the computer screen. And you look at that dot. And then they just make a small adjustment so that they line up the center of your eye with the camera with the computer screen. And then what happens, a text appears on the screen and they say, just read the text quietly. And so you sit there and you read the text. And as you read, the camera is tracking the movements of your eye. And then when you finish reading, behind the text on the screen, they can bring up every point that you focused on during the reading. And so that's how they do research on eye movements in reading fluency. Now, what they find when they do this is fluent, well-practiced readers focus on almost every word that's in the text. So if you look at the sheet, it says 95 fixations per 100 words. So that says in every 100 words, 95 of those words are actually focused on and fixated on. Now when we read, our eyes don't move slowly across or quickly across. What happens is we look at a word and then we jump to the next word. And then we jump to the next word. So it isn't smooth eye movement, it's actually a series of jumps. And each time we jump, we stop, and then we have to focus our eye on the next word. Now, in order to focus on a word, this takes about a minimum of 0.2 of a second. So you have to look at a word for about 0.2 of a second in order for your eye to be able to see that word clearly. That's a minimum time. Now what that means is, in 1 second, you could focus on 5 words. And in 1 minute, get the calculator or the cell phone out, what would it be? In 1 minute, 300 words. So 300 words is about the upper limit of normal reading speed, because that's the maximum number of words that we could focus on in 1 minute and still be able to see almost every word in the text. Now, these jumps that we make between the words, these jumps are very fast. Each jump is 0.02 of a second, very quick. And there is no way that you can increase the speed of the jumps. People can't make their eyes, do eye jumping exercises, stand in front of a mirror. It doesn't work. Our eyes just make those jumps, and we can't speed up those jumps. When we read, we also look back on things that we've read before. So this is called making regressions. And we look back because sometimes we jump too far, or sometimes we jump and we realize that we didn't remember what we saw before, or what we saw now doesn't agree with what we said before, or doesn't agree with our prediction, so we jump back. And these are called regressions. And in about every 100 fixations, about 15 of these are regressions. So these are then the physical things that happen when we read. The first thing that happens is that we focus our eyes on the words. The second thing that happens is that this focusing is at a minimum of 0.2 of a second. But if our reading is very slow, we might have to look at that word for half a second or even a second or more to try to bring back our memory for the meaning of that word. So 0.2 is the minimum time, but if you're a very slow reader, you might have to focus for a long time on a particular word. Now, typically, we jump from one word to another word. But if you are a reader who is learning to read a new script, or you're not very good at learning English, then you actually might jump from one letter to one letter, or from part of a letter to another part of the letter. You imagine someone learning to read b, d, p, g, with a curly thing, and you're learning to read these letters. They all look the same, except some go up and some go down, and some are on this side and some are on that side, and some are straight and some curl and some go up this way. And so when you're beginning to read that script, you then start focusing on little bits of the letters to try and recognize which one it is. Now, so these are the things that happen then when we read. So here is a problem for you, and you're going to have to answer this problem. On the handout sheet, there are 4 paragraphs. Makes around 95 fixations, spends around 200 milliseconds, makes saccadic jumps of around 1.2 words, makes around 15 regressions. So there are 4 features of reading. Now here is your problem. We've got somebody who read very slowly, and then we give them some speed reading practice, and their reading speed has improved. What has changed in their physical actions while they read? As a result of reading faster, what has changed in the physical things that they do? Now, you have to find 4 answers to that question, and there will be 1 answer for each of those paragraphs. Oh, this is a tough job. Let me do an easy one for you. What's the easiest one? Regressions, the last one. I'll do the easiest one. Okay? One way that learners can increase their reading speed is they can make fewer regressions. Okay, now you've got to do the other 3. Now don't work alone. Work with a partner, because having a partner means you can blame someone else for a wrong answer. You don't have to take personal responsibility. So have a look and see if you can tell me then what changes when someone's reading speed increases. Go. And I'll time you. That's all right. I'm right. Yeah. No. It's my job as a teacher. It's okay. Okay, humiliation time. Okay, so let's then see what happens. Yeah, a lot of people are hiding their faces. A few people in the audience who are in our MA program. This could cost you a pass mark if you get the answers wrong. Okay, So what happens when someone's reading speed increases? Okay, Carl, it's you. So a shorter time on each fixation. Exactly. Yep. We'll wait till we get to the end first. Okay, so a shorter time